Hello and welcome. This is the first watercolour painting for the new year, and it's a very simple landscape painting. I've got no reference photo or anything like that. This is just out of my mind, out of my head. You can see it's mainly sky and a simple little house there, a couple of trees, and some foreground there of some grass. Very minimalistic. And you can see the colours there in the sky with that blue that really sort of gives it a bit of pop or highlight, which I really wanted. So I'm just watering the paper. You can see the pencil drawing down below there, the little house and trees there penciled in. As I said, it was just something out of my mind, and I just wanted to keep it really, really simple for this one. Sometimes it's good to be a little bit less complicated in your paintings. It's okay to have a lot in your paintings at times, but at other times it's really nice just to strip it right back and just have something really simple. You know the old saying, less is more. So we've wet the paper and I'm putting down a dark blue. It's not a Prussian blue, but it's very, very close to Prussian blue. That's sort of a dark blue there. And that is a burnt umber. Actually, my apologies, that is a cobalt blue I put down there. I'm really sorry, but that was cobalt blue. And this is burnt umber I put down there. It's some more burnt umber. I'm just sort of putting a bit more on there. Also, I'm wanting to put some yellow ochre down, so here it comes. And you can see that yellow ochre is starting to push some of the other colours around a bit there. Paper is very, very wet. It's 100% cotton watercolour paper. I use that a lot. It's very forgiving. So I'm just letting the paint run. This is one method of doing a sky. There we go, just simply letting the colours run a bit until I get more close to what I want anyway. Just tilting the paper there, letting it run just to fill up the bottom area just a little bit there around the house. Just keep mopping up around the sides so when you tilt it back it doesn't keep running back onto the page. I'm only using some paper tissue to mop up. Okay, so that's where I want it, and I'm just putting some clear water now down below where the foreground's going to be. You know, you could have different colours for that sky if you wanted to. You could have, I don't know, a burgundy down below, and some darker colours up above. You can see that burnt umber that I put in there, it's mainly the yellow ochre has really taken over. You can see some of that burnt umber in the sort of the left-hand corner area of the watercolour. You can still see that burnt umber in there, but not as much as when we first put it on. It's really faded back, and the yellow ochre has sort of taken over quite a bit there. You can see the cobalt blue there, which just gives it some really nice variation in the sky as well. And we'll do some different sorts of skies as we progress with some different watercolour paintings. So this is a dark leaf green going on now. All these watercolours I'm using are by Art Spectrum. I occasionally use Winsor & Newton as well. Putting on some yellow ochre now, down below there. And some olive green is in there too, you might have noticed. We're going to put some grass in the foreground there. Just the impression of some grass. I don't want to paint every little blade or anything like that. Just give an impression of some grass in the foreground. As if you were looking through a camera, you were focusing on, say, the house. The grass, therefore, in the foreground would be a bit blurred. So that's the effect we're trying to do. Fixing up some of the vegetation in the background there, and we'll get some more water on the brush there just so it flows a bit better. I don't want, the reason I'm putting the water on, I just want it to blend in through. I don't want it to look like things are just being stuck on the paper. Some foliage, just some bushes, something like that around, just sprinkled around the place. And so the roof of this little house is, I'm just putting some burnt sienna in here. And we'll paint some little windows in there too, as you can see, with a bit of black. All right, so this is using an olive green for this tree over here. I could have just left it with this one tree here, but I just wanted something around that house as well, so I decided to put a second tree in there. And we'll darken that tree up in some areas as well. So just bringing the just bringing the shadow or the blending of the colour here through into the ground, so it doesn't look like the tree's just been plonked there. Thank you for watching this video. If you know of anyone who's interested in art, let them know. Please subscribe and click the bell icon. And remember, you're primarily doing your art to please yourself, so there's no pressure. And we learn by our mistakes, so don't even worry if you make a mistake. It's all part of the learning process. I make mistakes all the time, and I still am making mistakes. I'm far from perfect watercolour artist, but we all have our own styles, our different take on landscapes or urban sketches, things like that. I'm just painting the fence in here. Yeah, as I said, you know, I'm far from the best watercolour painter, but if you can pick up some ideas from what I do and from what some other people do as well, and combine them, and then work out your own style, that's what you need to do. There's plenty of good artists on YouTube, but I really do appreciate you watching my channel. I'm actually honoured for those people who've subscribed. Thank you so much. And if you're considering subscribing, I would be more than happy to have you as a subscriber. I'd be very pleased. So, just fixing up that house there a little bit, giving some depth to it. Now I'm going to get my brush with some clean water this time. I didn't do this with the first tree on the painting, but I'll be getting a clean brush and just putting some clean water where I'm going to put the second tree. So here we go. First of all, I think I'll fix up the first tree just to darken it up a little bit. Just in some areas. So I'm just putting some water down here. Oh no! First of all, I'll put the branches, the trunk and the branches. Then I'll put the water down after that dries a bit. All right, so when that dries, I'll put some clean water around where I want the foliage, and then I'll add some olive green. Okay, so I think the painting is almost finished. We've done the bulk of it. Let's see, I'm just fixing up in places along here. See what I'm doing there. This is the grass in the foreground I was telling you about earlier. You can imagine looking through a camera lens focused on, say, the house, and if you're doing that, then obviously the grass in the foreground would be blurred, and that's the effect we're trying to give. We don't want to be worrying about painting every blade of grass. We just want an impression. I wet the paper first just so it gives it a nice soft look. So I hope you might be getting something out of this. All right, so it's time that we did this tree. So just stick the water down first, the clear water. I did not do this with the other tree on the left-hand side. I just put the leaves straight onto the dry paper there, but I just wanted to wet it, the area where I'm about to put the foliage first on this particular tree. Here goes the olive green. I suppose I could have done that with the other tree as well. There we go, and we just want to bring that down to the ground a fair bit. And of course you can see the shadow on the house, which we will adjust a little bit. The shadow cast from that tree that I'm painting in now. You can just see it along half of the house. Right, so it's really taking shape. And it's a very simple painting, stripped back, very minimalistic. There's not much in it at all. We could have got away with one tree and a house, or maybe just one tree and no house. Depends what you're after, really. I still think the fence is great. It's a good idea. It actually is a leading line, and it brings the eye into the house. Or if you just wanted a tree without a house, you could still have the fence bringing the leading line, being the fence into the tree, if you wanted to do that as well. Just darkening under this tree just a bit here with some dark leaf green. There we go, just to give a little bit of, I don't know, busyness going on under that tree there, near the house. Just going to fix up around the edge of the tree here. Just some random foliage just sort of sticking out the sides a bit there. Sort of a combination of, say, two trees there. Here we go. We'll take away the masking tape, pull it away from the paper. Remember, I once ripped my masking tape right through my painting when I was pulling the masking tape off once. And there's nothing you can do about it except throw the painting away. If that happens, then that can be very frustrating. So take your time and peel that tape away from your paper. So there it is. Here is the final reveal up close. There it is. I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed it. Very simple. The way we did the sky as well, we'll be doing some different skies for you, showing you how to do some different ones in the near future. But thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and click the bell icon, and we'll have another watercolour up very, very soon. Really appreciate you watching. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. Bye for now.